lovely cakes, my sugar pie, my sweetheart, my wife, say my wife.
My wife.
The doctor, say the doctor.
doctor.
Yeah, she my wife all the time. She the doctor sometime, but when she put that doctor hat on, I got to pay close attention. My wife is brilliant, and when she put a doctor hat on, I may have to take a note. I'm not ashamed to take a note from something my wife is teaching.
Okay.
That's my wife. I've married her twice now. Is that true or not true?
It is very true.
And look, I threatened her the other day while we were sitting on the deck. I threatened her, Elise, that I might marry her 3 times. Say 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, you know I love you if I marry you 3 times. The first time I married her here. And then the second time I married her, I took her back to her home island and married her again in front of her family down there in the island.
Yes.
On the ocean, laid out on a villa. Sidney Portier's cousin was our pastor.
Stop it.
Who remarried us the second time. I gotta think about who we gonna get for the third.
He gonna do it big.
But the author of the book that you've been reading and the actually the author of 4 books, and knowing my wife, she's working on 5. Say 5 times.
5 times.
That means prolific. You write 5 books. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give her a big hand for Dr. Verna Cornelia. Give her a better hand than that. Good?
Good, you okay?
Yeah.
All right, this is good.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Hey, look at Wayne. He done put up
Lie
some
down, it's
stuff.
getting old, Jackie. It's good to see you all. I heard about you. You got here. It's important, right? 80% of all of your success in life will happen because you showed up. It won't happen because you're smart. It won't happen because you're handsome. It won't happen because you're pretty. It won't happen because you have been in prison or you haven't been in prison. It's gonna happen because you showed up. Because we are all looking for somebody to show up. And then when you finally show up, when you really show up. So this work is about teaching you how to really show up. Like you don't just exist on a piece of land, right? You don't exist in space. You were sent here for a purpose and with a purpose, sir. You were handpicked to be here this very moment. Handpicked. You thought you got recruited. You thought you got into a program. You thought maybe you'd get your little $50 today. But you were actually handpicked. Designated, destined for this moment. Now the question becomes, once you've been handpicked and placed, will you show up? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So the first thing I want you to write in your notebooks, and don't think you're just going to be looking at it. Today's date is August 14th. It's not? Yep. 2024. My name is Dr. Verna Cornelia Price. And the first sentence I want you to write in your journals. And if you don't have a journal, please ask for one. How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Good to see you. You all right? If you don't, you need a journal?
Yeah.
Okay, need a couple of journals over here. One.
I mean, I write it in the book.
Do you have a journal?
I write it in the book. I think he needs it.
Give him a journal over here. 2 journals. Don't take lots of notes. I am a teacher, born to teach. I've been teaching since I was 5 years old when I learned how to read. At the age of 4.
Let me give 1 2%.
When I learned how to read at the age of 4, I taught all my cousins how to read. When I got my first bicycle at the age of 6, I taught all my cousins how to ride a bike. Right? At the age of 12, I was teaching Sunday school, kindergarten Sunday school. I've been teaching all my life. I'm a teacher, first and foremost, right? Now, if you know anything about the Bible says that through knowledge you are delivered. You're not delivered through how much money you have. How many of you know some people with money and they're crazy? Sure. You're not delivered through how many degrees you have. You know, I'm from the land of degrees, universities. I'm a professor. Lots of PhDs. Crazy people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're not delivered by how many children you have or don't have. You are delivered through knowledge. Through knowledge. And the more you know, is the more you're going to grow. If you don't know nothing, you're not going to grow nothing. You're going to grow exactly what you know. So if you know stealing, you're going to grow stealing. You're going to become a great thief. If you know addiction, you're going to know it. And you're going to become a wonderful addict. Amazing. If you know finances, you're going to grow your finances. If you know love, you're going to grow it. You're going to grow whatever you know. Which is why knowledge is so critical. Learn new things. Just 2 weeks ago, maybe it was last week or something, maybe? I think so. We had a young man come in our office. You know, and he was strung up and strung out, needing everything we could possibly give him, but just unwilling to listen. And I only asked him one question. I said, are you willing to learn? Because that's all I want to know. If you tell me you're willing to learn, I will pour into you, because I know the more you know, the more you're going to grow. And I know you're not going to grow past what you know. So if this is all you know, this is all you're going to do. The more you know, guess what happens to your growth? The more you grow. And by the way, when you start knowing things that are going to help you in your life, your money grows too. So you can demand more because you know more. And I simply asked him a question. I said, sir, are you willing to learn? He said, well, I know I can learn. I said, that's a good question. We can all learn. You know, you're walking, you're talking. Clearly you learned how to walk and talk, didn't you? Sure. Some of you were heavy drinkers. Clearly you learned how to drink heavily. Some of you are strung out. Clearly you know how to do drugs. Is this true? Sure, I mean, clearly you know something. Right? Some of you ran your own businesses. Clearly you know something about business. I want to know, are you willing to learn? In other words, I was asking him, are you ready to grow? And he couldn't give me an answer. You know what I told Osita? I said, you know what? Leave him over there. He's not ready. Because I know in the next 2 weeks, my husband's going to pour into you all. He's asking you to learn something more so you can grow new things up in your life. Because otherwise, you will go back to that same stuff that you've been in, that's gotten you where you are. And listen to me carefully, keeps you where you are. And just so you know, our life is designed to multiply itself. Whatever you're doing, you're going to do more of it until you know more. Look at your neighbor and say, you better learn some more. You better learn some more. Right? So this work is about you learning and you growing. Okay, so the first thing I want you to write in your journals is the statement, I was born for a purpose and with a purpose. I was born for a purpose and with a purpose. I was born for a purpose and with purpose. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear with you about that and you're clear with yourself about that. He said, you are not an accident. Listen to me carefully. You are not an accident. You are not a result of a man and a woman getting together for whatever reasons, and you happen to be a byproduct. That is not you. You were handpicked by your Creator to be in this time right now for a purpose, with a purpose, and you have something for humanity. And if you didn't have anything for humanity, you wouldn't have made it through the process of what? Birth. You would have died in the womb. So clearly you are here for a purpose. And clearly you are here with a purpose. Now, until you understand the gravity of that, how big that is, because some of you are still blaming your parents for your issues. You're still blaming your folk, your background, your environment for your issues. Let me tell you, I don't know what your mama or your daddy or your uncle or your sister or your brother did to you. They are not the issue. And some of you have had some things done to you. None of what has happened to you has anything to do with the fact that you are here, born with a purpose, and for your purpose. It did not take away your purpose. Now the question becomes, at what point do you do the work to figure out what exactly am I here for? Why was I handpicked to be here at this time, in this moment in history? What am I supposed to bring to humanity? That's work. It's purpose work. And we don't have enough time to do that work with you, but in this process, that is the premise. That's the foundation of this work. This is why we can do this work with you. This is why I know you can change. Your situation can change. Your income can change. Your family can change. I know you can change because I know you were handpicked. You didn't just happen. Regardless of your situation, and we all got situations. Raise your hand, you got some. Some of you need to be doing this. You got all kinds of situations going on. Huh? You got situations coming all over you. Situations. Has nothing to do with your purpose. And let me give you a little secret. Once you figure out why you are here and what you have to offer humanity, everything changes. Everything changes. You get laser focused because you know now what you have to offer. You're no longer wandering through life. You know what you have to offer to society. And you're not just here for you. Right? God didn't just put me on this earth just for me. No. He put me on this earth for my husband, for my children, for you. Right? I wore this African print because we're just returning from Africa. Right? And my handmade African jewelry by children, who are living in dire straits, dire situations. Some of you walked out here the first day and go, oh, I got just only $50. Are you kidding me? When we left Liberia, our server who was helping us out and bringing us breakfast every day and helping to take care of us, keeping an eye on our son Cornelius and making sure we were okay in Liberia, you know how much she was making a week? $35, and she worked 10 hours a day. Don't tell me you got it bad. You don't got it bad, you're just spoiled. And some of you are spoiled and lazy too. Bad combination. I tell them how I believe in the old-fashioned way, right? Just take your butt behind the building and beat you. Just give you a plain old, good old-fashioned whooping. I'm not gonna abuse you, I'm just gonna whoop you real good. You know how the old people used to whoop you? They used to whoop you and talk to you. You know I love you, bam! You know I love you, bam! Yeah? Like, get your mind right. Yeah? Spoiled and lazy. Privileged and lazy. Waiting for somebody to do something for you. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you.
Right.
Why should I? Huh? Why? You're born with a purpose and for a purpose. You got everything you need right now. Everything. You're not missing one thing. And don't tell me, well, you know, Dr. Verna, I've had such a hard time. I can show you hard times. I can show you some hard times. I can tell you about some hard times. But it has nothing to do with your purpose. Nothing. So I want you to clear your mind. Because some of you have been socialized that you're done. That there is nothing left for you in life. It's a lie from the pit of hell. Whether you are 22, or whether you are 52, or whether you are 72 in this room, your purpose still remains. And what you get to do with all of this information is to get focused on who you are and what you're supposed to be doing on this earth. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So just on your paper, this is just for you. I just want you to answer this question. What do you think you were born to do in this earth? What do you think you were born to do? Just write on your paper. I'm not going to ask you for the answer. Just write on your paper. I want you to think about it. What were you born to do in this earth? I said I was born to teach. I know I was born to teach. That's what God gave me. A gift to teach. Praise God. I figured out how to teach something good. Not have been dangerous on the street. Praise God for Jesus.
In the back. Go one right here.
Oh, thank you so much. All right. So having done that, now we're going to go back to what's inside of you. See how?
There's a verse right under you. The markers are to the right.
Great, thank you. Some of you use blue, I think. Some blue, great. All right. You're going to learn more about this, and I'm going to go straight to just one part of you, okay? When you were born with a purpose, and you were born as a complex human being. You have many layers to you, right? So I'm going to talk about 5 layers, but I'm only really going to talk about one. My husband will fill in the rest as we go, okay? So, what? You sure? Okay, thank you. So we call this the 5, please label it in your journals, 5 parts of self. You've got 5 parts to you. And each of these parts is loaded with information and knowledge that you need to know about, okay? The first part of you is the invisible part of you. Now I can see you, right? I am a Caribbean African. When we were on the continent, we visited Ghana. We went to a place called Cape Coast. Cape Coast has the slave, they call them castles. They're dungeons to me. The slave dungeons, right? We went to the door of no return. This is where they actually had captured my forefathers. They had captured my grandmas and my grandpas, and they had shackled them, abused them, And then now they had them in this very, very small room that was no bigger than this table with one little peephole and one space for them to shove them through that hole into the ocean to be captured, to be taken to the West. Okay? So when the slaves were, these were my people, when they were captured and then enslaved and sent to the West, one of the first places they landed was the Caribbean, which is where I'm born and raised, in the Bahamas. So I'm a direct descendant of the first round of slaves, right? Those were my people that were shackled, sold off, abused. So, I am, I'm cinnamon brown, right? Many of my women in my family who were slaves were raped, abused, right? So I'm like a little yellow brown. Because why? So, more than likely, some white British slave person raped one of my people. And DNA starts to mix it up. So then we get my, my African, right, color, which is deep, deep brown, chocolate brown. And you mix it with the white and you get like a little, honey yellow brown. But this is the way I was born. Right? I was born with this twiggly hair. I don't add no hair. I don't take no hair away. This is all my hair. This is all my twiggly hair. Right? As you see, I'm getting my little grays in. I'm happy about my gray. Yeah, people are like, who you should die? Die what? For what? Huh? I get to have gray hairs and they're beautiful to me. Right? But this is my physical. My father was 6'4", so I'm tall. This is my physical look. This is what you can see. I can see you. But it's not all that's to you. This is the visible. Well, there's an invisible part of you. And only you and God can see your creator. That's it. It's just you and your creator. That invisible part of you. Known as, and in it, you have some special things. We call it, write this down, your Ba. It is the essence of you. Some people call it your soul, your spirit. It is where God connects with you. It is where you first hear what your purpose is. It's right here in your Ba. It's invisible. No one can see it but you. But I know it's there. I know it's there. Have you ever walked into a room or into a place and it was like almost an audible voice said to you, get out? Ever happened to you? Like you heard it in your spirit. But there was no one around when they said, get out. Right? In our 15 years of going in and out of prisons in Minnesota, here's what I know. Most of our men, because most of the people who we worked with in prison have been men. 30 seconds is all it took for that crime to be committed, and it cost them 30 years. Just 30 seconds of time. And for every one of them, when you ask them the question, did you hear a voice before you pull that trigger? Or before you, every last one of them said yes. Because your soul, God speaks to you and tells you, leave him, get out, go now. The question is, do you listen? Right? And a part of your purpose is you learning how to listen to your soul, your spirit. But you know what messes us up? people mess us up. Do you know why? Because we have a disease. Do you know what disease is called? No, it's not COVID. Huh? It's beyond a pandemic. You know what disease is called? I can tell you what the disease is called. Someone tell me, what is it? It's a disease. We have it. We all have it.
Addictions?
No, addiction. I mean, this disease makes addictions look like nothing. As a matter of fact, addictions happen because of this disease.
Ego.
Curse.
Say it.
Is it the curse?
Is it the curse? We're all suffering from the curse. That's true. You know anything about that? We all suffer from the curse. Absolutely. What's the addiction? Oh,
I can't think of the word.
you can't think of the word?
Oh,
The addiction is called people pleasing.
man.
Oh man.
Okay, that was the other thing. I think it was conscience.
You know what? Because inherently as human beings, we want somebody to like us.
That's strong season.
You want someone to like you. You actually want someone to think that you are, I don't know what they call these days, swag, wag, look, cool, what is it? Dab, dab, I don't know, every generation has a, put it down, throw it up, pick it up, I don't know. It's the same thing. You desperately want someone, listen to me, to validate you. Desperately. And you will do whatever you have to do to get someone to say that you're okay. Even if it means pulling a trigger. Even if it means gang raping. Even if it means taking another sip, another something. You will do it. Because you want somebody to say that you're okay. You're desperate for it. Now there's science to this. There's a reason why you're desperate for it. There's a reason. But you must know what it is. Raise your hand if you suffer from people pleasing. Raise your hand if you suffer from it. Sure you have. We all have, just so you know. And in this conversation, nobody's perfect. Perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. We've all suffered from this. Because we want somebody to think that we're okay. Now, let me tell you something. As long as you live, you will always have at least 2 people in your life. And now 3 and 4 actually, because Brother Shay and I, we can put ourselves together, right? We can be a twofer.
Y'all go together.
Yeah, we can be a twofer for you. Right? As long as you live, you will always have 4 people who think that you're amazing, love you, and are here for you. So if you ever need to know, I need someone to tell me that I'm okay today, you call us. And you say, Dr. Verna, I need to hear it. I'm gonna say, you're okay. You're okay. Right? But the first person is yourself. You have to be able to tell yourself that you're okay. Yourself. You have to trust yourself enough to know that you're okay. And the second person, who's actually your first person, is God, your creator. God knows you. God loves you, which is why you're here. And if you weren't loved, you wouldn't be here. Just so you know. So just write that on your paper. I am loved. Just put it on there. I am loved. So you can stop some people pleasing foolishness. Because some of you will actually not get a job because somebody don't like the fact that you're working now. Or somebody thinks that you think you're better than them, it's because you have a job. Huh? People pleasing. Okay? So but your ba is your soul, your spirit, it's the essence of you. It's where you connect with your creator. Now the second part of self I'll do is very, very quickly. I already talked about this a little bit. It's your physical self. It's your physical body. Write it down. Your physical body. It's a lot of work that goes into that. You can do it later. The third part of yourself, and everyone has a physical body, is your environmental self. Environmental. This is where you grew up. This is who raised you. This is who socialized you. This is where you've been socialized. This is your environmental self. This is where you grew up, you're raised, you've been socialized. This is the people who have been feeding you. This is what you have been eating. You know, in our house, our youngest just turned 16 last Monday, but this was her when she was 7 months old. She's so cute! She's so cute! And she's still so cute. She's 16 and she's still so beautiful. But I take it with me. This is a reminder, right? Feed your children love. Feed them love. Feed them love. Every day, feed them love. When you don't have food to feed them love.
That's good.
You hear what I'm saying to you? Because they desperately need it. They need their dad to say, I love you. No, we may not have enough to eat in the house. Yes, I'm working on getting a job, but you need to know that I love you. Feed them love. You know, I'm in the grocery store these days. You know, these young mamas, they are swearing up a storm at a 2-year-old. How you will call a 2-year-old a bee? What are you feeding her? You're feeding her self-hate. You're feeding her self-destruction. You're feeding her at the age of 1. You're feeding her to be a nobody, nothing going nowhere. You're feeding that to your children. Huh? What you been eating lately? What you been eating in your mind? Liquid vape. What you been eating in your mind? Huh? You want to vape your mind away? Huh? Chemicalize your body to the point where you can't even exist anymore? Burn yourself up from the inside out? What you eating these days? I don't know. I know what I feed my husband. I know what I feed my children. Pure love. I encourage them. I motivate them. I tell them who they can be. We have a son, Cornelius, who's now 22. You know what they told Cornelius? First of all, he wouldn't live. You'll not live beyond a week. You won't live beyond 2 weeks. And then you will never walk, you will never talk, you'll just be like just existing your life. Now, how many of you know Cornelius is walking, talks all the time? All the time. All the time. Sometimes we have to say, Cornelius, this is what you're doing. This is what we want you to do. Remember that movie? It's a funny movie. But anyway, so like Cornelius, just take a little break. Take a little break. Right? Just as when he went to Africa with us, he was our ambassador. His job was to share love and joy with everyone he met. Don't you know, in every country we went to, right, they wanted to keep Cornelius. They did. They're like, can he stay with us? Like, no, he can't stay with you. Right? They loved him. Why? He was bringing from his body, his soul, his spirit. He was sharing love and joy with the world. You're going to have to ask yourself the question, what you've been eating. Right? That's the third part of self. The fourth part of yourself is your personality. Your personal self, your personality. That's how you show up. Right? Your dynamics. You know, are you outgoing? Are you quiet? Are you shy? Right? Are you talkative? What kind of energy you have? All that stuff is your personality. We all have one. Now let me tell you very carefully. Do not, hey Lloyd, do not ever mistake someone's personality for their character or their power. Write it down, please. Don't mistake someone's personality for their character or their power. Just because someone seems to be fun doesn't mean they're fun. Don't mistake someone's personality for their character or their power. Just because they seem to have it together doesn't mean they have it together. Just because they seem to know how to get you connected doesn't mean that they have anything to connect you with. They seem to be so dynamic and outgoing doesn't mean they can do anything for you. Huh? You'll do some more work on that. And the fifth part of self is your tribal self. Okay? This is your community. This is your public self. The tribal self is your public self. This is who people in your community say you are. Right? This is how you show up in your community. This is who you're known to be in your community. Your tribal self. This is your affiliations in your community. Right. Just this morning, right up here on Broadway, at the corner, at the light, right past Wendy's, as you're gonna cross over to go into the highway, here's this little tribe, right? All addicts. And they are busy trying to cook drugs right here on the corner. Right? Why? That's how they're showing up in life right now. That's what they know. What do they need to be? Knowing more, growing more? But they're not in this class? But I sure felt like stopping my car and getting them in the class. I sure did. If I could legally do that, let me tell you, but my husband tell you, I would have a bus. I'd be yanking them off the roads everywhere. Right? Because I know who they are. You're not that addiction. You are not incarceration. You are not abuse. You are not. That is not who you are. That's simply what? The tribal self, where you ended up right now. Okay? So now I want to go all the way back to your ba. All the way back to your ba. And this is the work of purpose, and this is where it exists. So in your ba, you have 4 things. Please write them down. 4 things in your ba. The first thing that you have in your ba is time. My husband's been talking about time. If you've been in class, you know the time is the
real money.
Thank you. Right? When we talk about money, we're not just talking about physical money. We're talking about what do you need to prosper your life. Right? You need some things to prosper your life. And when you use your time well, your life prospers. When you don't use your time well, what do? You take away from your life. You're in the hole. You're at a deficit. Why? Because you haven't used your time well. We all get time. We all get 24 hours a day. I remember someone asking me, Dr. Verna, how do you do it all? I'm like, I get 24 hours, and so do you. The question is, how are you going to use your 24 hours? And are you going to maximize your time? Right? If I had it my way, if I really had it my way with all of our, and then you now, when you graduate from this class, you get to be a pop guy or a pop woman, right? My way, ooh, you all will be working seriously 10 hours a day. I have been working so hard. You know why?
Because productivity
is one of the keys. As soon as you can, get productive. I can tell you, the minute that you lose productivity, you are beginning to slide into a hole of self-destruction. Get productive. Do you know why incarceration always brings people together? Because every minute is used. Move here, move there, do this, do that. Productivity, productivity, productivity. Why? We're designed to be productive. Use your time. Use your time well. And then the second part of your ba is your purpose. We just talked about that. You were born with and for a purpose. Okay? The third part of your ba is called your birthright. You were born, which is why you have people-pleasing tendencies. You were born literally with 4 things. This is your right. You have a right to these 4 things. Which is why when you don't get them, you'll take it in any form. Because you are longing to live out this right. Because it's actually inherently in you. You were born for this. You were born to be treated like this, which is why you will go after it, right? Little babies, you know what little babies do? They snuggle up to you. Why? Because they inherently know, I'm supposed to be loved. I'm supposed to be taken care of. They don't know, they don't understand it, but it's right, it's in them, it's in their soul and their spirit to be loved, to be taken care of, to be valued. It's your right as a human being. Which is why anytime your birthright, say birthright?
Birthright.
Anytime your birthright is violated, you will find yourself in trouble. Every time. Because you're gonna go after the birthright. You know why gangs continue to thrive? Why are gangs still, I don't care what happens to the economy, I don't care what happens to the elections, guess what remains the same? Crime and gang behavior remains the same. Why? Because gangs, they understand something. They understand that you're looking for somebody to think you're okay. So they're gonna put a community around you. And to keep your community, you will desperately do whatever you have to do. Why? Because you're looking for your birthright. You are looking to actually live out your birthright. So what exactly? And here's what we think as human beings. We think that we should get that from our parents. Now let me tell you, it's really nice when you get your birthright, and when you actually, your parents operate in your birthright with you, right? But what happens when they don't? What happens when your mama didn't even like you? She didn't even want you. She barely had you. She almost aborted you. She's put you off on somebody all your life. What happens when you don't even know your dad? What happens? Did something happen to your birthright? No, it's still there. It's still there, and you're still looking for it. Please write them down. The first thing you were born with a right to is, and please write it in, this is called the affirmative, I am valuable. You were born with a right to be valuable. Which is why you are always looking to be validated. You were born with a right to be valuable. Which is why anytime someone violates this right, you feel so hurt. You feel so hurt. You feel abused, you feel misused. Why? Because you were born with a right to be valuable. Please write that down. I was born valuable. Okay? Then I want you to just put your hand on your heart and declare it to yourself. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and we'll say it all together. I was born valuable. 1, 2, 3.
I was born valuable.
Okay? Now I want you to say it again, and this time make it the affirmative right now, in your life right now, and you're going to say, I am valuable. 1, 2, 3.
I am valuable.
Okay? Now, just to make sure, look at your neighbor and say to your neighbor, do you know that I am valuable? Just
Do you know that I am valuable?
Just practice. Just practice. You say it? You say it? Okay? Okay? All right. This is good. This is good. Now, the question becomes, what does it mean to be valuable? How do you feel when someone treats you like you're valuable? Anyone? Anyone? Please tell me your name before you say your response. I know your names. Yes, sir.
My name is Jeff, and I think it makes me feel a good sense of self-purpose.
Okay?
It makes me feel good about somebody recognizes something I've done.
Makes you feel good. Okay? And when you feel good, life just looks better, doesn't it, Jeff? Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Jolene. This is what my family includes me in, and things let you know when I'm going to be a great aunt again. I'm the person that gets to know.
Yeah. So you feel like you're included and you get some priority information.
Right. And that
Nice.
feels that. Yep. They used to be get all that, including it.
Nice. So you
Yeah.
feel included. Thank you, Miss Jolene. Yes, sir.
Makes me feel validated.
Tell me your name.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie. Hey, Eddie.
So that makes me feel validated and valued. Welcome to the car.
Okay. All right. Why don't you in a class?
She had to go to work.
Oh, okay, you gotta go to work. Okay, then.
Yeah, she gotta
That's
go to
what I'm
work.
talking about. There you go. Go to work. Make that money. Okay. Eddie, go ahead.
Yeah, it makes me feel valuable and validated.
Okay, now what does it mean? Well, like, what do
It
you
makes me feel like I'm getting attention. Like, makes me feel like I'm doing something good.
doing something good? You're getting good attention.
Yeah.
Love that. Thank you, Eddie. Yes, ma'am.
Sherry, it makes my day go better. I feel better about myself.
Yeah, you feel better about yourself. Absolutely. Things get better that day, right? Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Sherry. Yes, ma'am.
Release, and it makes me feel motivated, empowered.
Yes. So you feel empowered. You know, empowered means that someone is actually providing you with it's like jump-starting your power, right? Like, yeah, you got this, right?
Yeah.
Nice, Elise. Anyway, anyone else? Over on this side, you just not gonna talk to me? What's going on here? I'm just gonna have to come over here, all up in your faces. Okay, my twins is everywhere. All right, talk to me. What happens when you feel like you're valuable? Or when someone treats you like you're valuable?
I mean, you worthy of something.
I mean, you're worthy of something. How does it make you feel?
Make you feel good.
You feel like you're worthy. Absolutely. Yes, sir. You're talking to me, but you're not saying nothing. But I know you're talking to me. I see you. Huh?
What the question? Yes, sir.
When someone treats you like you're valuable, how do you feel?
So,
Yeah?
good.
Feel wanted. You feel special. Excellent.
Appreciate it.
You feel appreciated. Yes, sir.
Jim,
Jim?
and make me feel like I'm making the right choice.
I guess I am making the right choices. Yes, this is working, right? Let me tell you, good people, you were born with the birthright, and the birthright of valuable is already in you. Which is why you're gonna chase that birthright. You're gonna go after it. Because you, in your heart of hearts, you wanna know that you're valuable. And if you walk away with nothing else out of this class, you know that you are born valuable. Regardless of your birth situation, we all have birth situations. You know? Single mom, no, it doesn't matter. Mom, dad, love, it doesn't matter. That you know that you're valuable is critical to your success. Because you're valuable enough for that job. You know that, don't you? You're valuable enough to be making good money. You're valuable enough to have good living conditions. You're valuable enough to stay out of prison. You're valuable enough. You are, because you were born valuable, right? Your second birthright, please write down. I am important. Boy, this one is worked on a lot. This word is worked on a lot. You were born with a right to be important. If you've ever been in a grocery store and there's a 2-year-old in the grocery store and they want something, what do? They don't fit. And guess what happens? What do? They usually what? Get what they want, right? If you are with a newborn baby and they need to change or they need to eat, what do? They don't fit. They start crying. They give you signals like, hey, I'm important here. Come on, do your job. Get the bottle. You know, get the nursing station. Come on, move it. Like, get my bed. Go get a diaper. What are you doing? Don't you know how important I am? Now, prior to going to Africa, and we went with a team of 10, so it was our family, and then we had another family with us, so it was 10 of us. I said to the team, I said, now listen now, when our foot sets foot on African soil, and when we go into those villages, into those communities, we are going to be like celebrities. Because to them, people have come from America, and this is a big deal, from the America. And they have come across the seas to our village. Then they must be somebody. They must be important. So everywhere we went, there was ceremony. They met us with dancing and celebration and food And they took care of us, and they wanted autographs, and they wanted pictures. Why? We were important to them. And they treated us as such. But guess what? We all should have that same thing every day. Like your children, how many of you have kids? Treat them like they're important and see what happens. Treat them like their voice matters. And my husband is great at this. I'm not as good at this because I'm a teller, and he's at home, he's more like a discusser with the kids. He wants to discuss it, And I just want to tell him. I'm like, bam. And he's like, well, let's talk about this. Let's work it out, And I don't know, we got to figure it out, Because what? He knows how important they are. And I do too. To give them voice. You are important. And let me share something with you. You're too important to spend one more day behind bars. You're too important to spend one more moment putting a poison in your system. You're too important to spend one more day to have somebody who call themselves loving you, treating you like you're a nobody from nothing. You're too important to have your so-called friends cussing you in the face all the time. You're too important. So I just want you to sit up for a second, just like you own $1 million right now. Just sit. Move your shoulders back like that. Yes, very important. This is good. This is good. My name is Dr. Verna Price.
Corey.
Corey?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice to meet you, sir. How are you, sir? Very, very good.
Freddie.
Your name is?
Freddie.
Freddie, I'm Dr. Verna. Nice to meet you. Yes, ma'am. Come on.
Hi, Andy.
Andy? Andrea, nice to meet you.
My name is Arnisha.
Arnisha?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Miss Arnisha.
Hi, my name is Sherry.
Hey, Miss Sherry. Sherry with a S or a C? Very nice to meet you. These are some important people up here. Important people. You're all important people. You're more important. Can you imagine that you were handpicked? Handpicked. Do you know the science behind your birth? They can't even figure it out. How is it that one sperm hit that one egg? That is, you are an impossibility. You're unpredictable. There's no way that they can figure you out. And that you got picked. You with your look, you with your skin, you with your eyebrows. Yeah. Do you know you're supposed to look the way you look? Minnesota's very white. You know that, right? There's white people everywhere. Seriously, Minnesota's white people everywhere. Don't get it messed up now. In North Minneapolis, you see more, black and brown people. No, Minnesota's white people. So if you go out 10 minutes, am I telling the truth? If you go out 10 minutes from here, 15 minutes from here, all white people. Everywhere. Why? This is geography. Guess what? In Dory, Kenya, guess what I saw? All white people. I didn't see white people. As a matter of fact, when I came back to Minnesota, I was shocked. I was like, what the heck is going on? There's so many white people here. Because I hadn't seen black people for a whole month. I didn't see no white people. It's a geography, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? When you know you're important, I don't care what color you are. Because I know that I'm just as important. And you are just as important. So you're important in Endoric. If you are deep chocolate brown, or you're important in Minnesota, where you just like pale white, vanilla white. Because there's some white people in Minnesota. I'm not seriously white. I'm thinking what? No sun, no nothing. No matter what they do, they're just white, right? But guess what? It doesn't matter. Why? You're still as important. Regardless of the color of your skin, you are still as important as me. Regardless of where you live, you are still as important. Regardless if you're making $35 a week or you are making $35 a second, you are still as important. Your importance has no thing to do with your circumstance, your color, your culture. You just are important. Now, what happens when you understand that in life? What happens? What happens to how you treat people? What happens? Tell me. How do you treat people now?
Treat others like they're important.
Important. Like you are important, Andrea. Of course. You know, we have different backgrounds, different color. So what? You are as important as I am. Different education. So what? You are as important as I am. Okay? Did you write that on your paper? I am important. Okay, good. Can you put your hand on your heart? Can you just read out to me? I'll say 1, 2, 3, and you say, I was born important. 1, 2, 3. I was born important. And then this time we're going to hold on to it and put it into our, into our consciousness. It's already in your body, your soul, your spirit. Now I want you to put it in your mind with intentionality. And you're going to say, I am important. 1, 2, 3. I am important. And I'll say it again because some of you actually don't believe it because someone will beat it out of you. You don't think you're anything. Right? You fail so long and so often. You don't believe it yet. I'll say 1, 2, 3. You say, I am important. 1, 2, 3. I am important. Okay, look at your neighbor and just say to them, do you know how important I am? Do you know how important I am? Right? Absolutely. You're too important to be treated certain ways. You're too important. You're too important for that. So we value you as important people. At the Power People Leadership Institute, we work with you like you are important people. Because that's what you are. Number 3, third birthright is I am lovable. I was born, I have a right to love and be loved. We're all looking for it. I have a right to love and be loved. So when you, I'll talk about Cornelius here for a second. Cornelius has love just streaming through him, right? And so I walk in the door and he's like this. I mean, like huge, and when he hugs deeply, like, oh, like, like a bear hug. He just holds on and gives you a hug, right? Love. So I look no further. You're loved. Look no further. There's at least 4 people who love you. 4. One is your God, your creator. You're loved. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Now raise your hand. You know some of you should be dead by now. Raise your hand. Dead, like double D dead. Some of you been like, you should be like this. Well, Lord, I should be double D dead. Right? Some of you got some people looking for you right now. Huh? You're hiding out. You're hiding out Power People Leadership Institute. They're just right around the corner, right on. You don't even go down the block no more. Right? God loves you. Now I have to ask you this question. The question is, do you love yourself? I can't answer that question for you. But I can tell you, the more you love yourself, the faster you're going to grow as a person. Because you're actually going to believe that you're valuable enough to succeed in life. Just the other day I was talking to one of our women and she said, I've supported my family all these years. I said, well, how have you supported them? She says through drug sales and prostitution. And I said, no, actually all of these years you've been showing your family how much you hate yourself and that you are self-destructing every day. That's what you've been through. Because if your family really loved you, they wouldn't be sitting up somewhere waiting for you to sell your body and sell drugs and destroy your community so they can get the proceeds. Now let's be for real about this stuff. Huh? And now her family's all messed up because she actually wants to go to work and make a legal wage and live a happy, peaceful life. Now they're upset with her. Why? Because it's not real love. That's not love, that's negotiation. Right? I do something for you, you do something for me. Go ahead, sell your body, and then you give me the proceeds, and I'm gonna be happy with you and treat you like a daughter. It's real stuff. The question is, do you love yourself? You know, when I met my husband had learned to love himself. And it was interesting because he you know, my husband is a man. He's a man, right? And he'd say, you know what, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym. Like, okay. He didn't ask me, well, you know, honey, do you think I should go to the gym? Like, you know, I think I should go to the gym. Like, no, he's like, I'm going to the gym. Because I love myself. And I'm going to take care of my body. Take care of my mind. And at first I was like, oh, okay. And he would just go to the gym. I was like, okay. I guess he just went to the gym. Right? But what he was really showing me was I'm going to take care of myself. Because nobody else is going to take care of me but me. And even though I have a good wife, a lovely wife, I still have to take care of myself. And the question for you is, are you taking care of yourself? Or are you waiting for someone to take care of you? You waiting for someone to love you more than you love yourself. I can't love you more than you love yourself. If you don't love you, I can't even love you that much. Why? Because you will find ways to sabotage my love for you. Because you don't love yourself. That's a whole session just by itself. We got to get to number 4. Hand in your heart, please repeat after me. I was born to love and be loved. I am lovable. And some of you have been needing a hug. Just give your own self a hug. Just, forget trying to get somebody to hug you. Just hug yourself. Just give yourself your own hug. Right? Okay, now we're going to finish number 4. Number 4 is you must have this, that you were born with power. I am powerful. You were born with a right to power. And you were born to be powerful. Okay? Power is what you were given as a birthright. Listen to me careful. Very careful. Is what you were given to change your life. Power, which is your personal power. You don't have to go nowhere looking for that. It's already inside of you. Power, write it down, is your ability to make a decision. Say decision. Say decision. Decision. The hardest thing for my husband and I to do is to stand by and watch our students not make a decision to change. I can teach you all day. But until you make a decision to change, say decision. Decision. Until you make a decision to change your life will remain the same. Here's what you will do, sir. This is your life, right here. I'll put my book down here for a minute. This is your life. I'll put this water down here. Okay? Your life is right here. And what you want to do is you want to change your life, you want to move that life forward, don't you? But you know what? If you don't know you have the power to do so, you'll stand right here by your life, moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it looks like you're going somewhere. You may walk this way, but you're going to stay right here in line with your life. You may walk this way. The truth of the matter is that you're just having movement, but you're going nowhere. Nowhere, because you haven't made a decision. Because that decision is going to require some things of you. But your life is still the same. Same people, same attitude, same decisions, same. You've been there for 30 years. You've been at that same spot for 30 years. Look at your neighbor and say, don't you think it's time to decide? Don't you think it's time to decide? After these 2 weeks are done, what I want out of you, Miss Elise, is a decision. All right. that you ain't never going back.
Right.
All right.
That your life will change. And then you're going to live out your God-given purpose in life. And you're going to be happy and healthy and beautiful while you do it. I'm looking for a decision.
That's right.
And I'll be able to tell if you made a decision. Sometimes I'm not nice about it either. Because I know when you haven't made a decision. Don't complain to me about what you're permitting in your life. You should write that down. Don't complain about what you permit. Because you haven't made a decision. See, your power is your ability to make a decision. Now, once you make that decision, so please write that on your notes. My power is my ability to make a decision. My power is my ability to make a decision. And the last two words is to change, and I'm going to say for the better. My power is my ability to make a decision to change my life for the better. My power is my ability to make a decision to change my life, not yours. I can't change your life. I can teach you, I'm teaching you how to change your life. But for you to change your life, you have to exercise your personal power to make a decision to change your life for the better. And how do you do that? Once you make that decision, now it's time for you to take an action step. Once you make that decision, now it's time for you to take an action step. Once you make that decision, now it's time for you to take an action step. Now the question for you becomes, what's going to be your decision? And then immediately following that, what's going to be your action step? Now what's beautiful about you all here is that you did make a decision, or someone bought you. Did someone bring you? Is this Brother Woodrow's son?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
how's that?
huh? So your dad bought you. He put you in the car and bought you over here.
No, he ain't pushing me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Your dad said, you coming to REEP.
Nah.
You coming to Brother Shane. Come on now.
Actually, I gotta. Go ahead, you go ahead.
Did you make a decision to come?
Oh, yeah, I made a decision to come from.
That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. So, I am encouraged by the fact that you made a decision. And you made a decision to keep coming because this is day 3. I can tell you a lot of people don't make it to day 3.
Some did.
So my question is never who comes day 1. My question is who comes day 5? Who's gonna come next Monday? Next Monday. Who's gonna come next Monday? Because then I will know. Call me in, Dr. Verna. Then I know you made a decision. How do I know you made a decision? After day 8, you actually come to the celebration on day 9. You know, we have had people go through this entire program and not show up for graduation.
Oh, yeah.
Because of graduation, they weren't getting their $50 gift card.
Or are they scared of the employers?
Huh?
Or are they scared of the employers?
No, they're not scared of employees, they're scared of themselves.
They're afraid of getting a job.
No, they're afraid of themselves. They're afraid to try again because they don't know that they're valuable enough for a job, they're important enough, they're lovable enough, and they have the power to make a decision to change their life for the better. So they run back to their old life. Please repeat after me. My power is my ability to make a decision change my life.
to change my life.
For the better.
For the better.
My power is.
My power is.
My ability.
My ability.
Now, you know what? Gotta stop here. Because, you know, people say to me, well, Dr. Verna, you already made it. How do you think I made it? You think I woke up one morning, popped up, and said, oh, I'm successful. Right? I have a PhD. I can demand $15,000 for a 1-hour talk from a corporation. It didn't just happen. I had to do the very same thing Miss Sherry I'm asking you to do. I had to do it for myself. Right? I had to do it. When people didn't think my business was going to work, I had to do it. When my son was sick and they thought he was going to die, I had to do it. Huh? When I had no money in my bank account and I was so poor, I couldn't afford the OR. I had to do it. You hear what I'm saying? When I had no money to go to college and had to figure out how to stay there, I had to do it. So don't think that, you know, your nothing. You make a decision. What's going to be your decision? It's your ability. My power is? My ability.
My ability.
To make a decision.
To make a decision.
To change my life.
To change my life.
For the better.
For the better.
Please stand up for me, please. We're going to go through this. I've taught you your birthright. I've taught you your personal power. And then I have to go and take our daughter to dance. She's like, Mom, what time are you going to come back? I'll be back before 2:30. It takes me 7.5 minutes to get to our house from here. So I'm timing myself. Yeah, and take care of your children. Okay, put your hand on your heart. Repeat after me. When I was born,
When I was born,
I was born valuable.
I was born valuable.
I was born important.
I was born important.
I was born lovable.
I was born
I
lovable.
was born extremely powerful.
I was born extremely
And
powerful.
my power is.
And my power is.
My ability.
My ability.
To make a decision.
To make a
To
decision.
change my life.
To change my life.
For the better.
For the better.
I want you to find at least 4 people in the room, and I want you to say to them, you have everything you need as a powerful person to change your life. Yes, sir.